The tournament was coming to an end and I was doing really well. I had 6 out of 11 points and I had mostly played against people that were higher rated than me. So I felt like I was a bit of an underdog in the European Women's Blitz Chess Championship, but I was facing strong players and I was doing well. On round 12, I was playing against a woman Grandmaster, and her name was Elvira Berend from Luxembourg. Now, this woman has won the world's over 50 women's chess championship, so she's been the best woman in the world over 50. I mean, at least in that championship. Like, my mom is over 50 as well, and my mom is better, but you know what I mean. This was a very strong player, and actually my mother really wanted me to win because then my mom would have some chances for winning the veteran prize in the tournament. So anyways, it was a day like any other. I was sitting by the board, I was looking around, and I was just waiting for the arbiter to start the game. I'm not really sure what I was thinking about, but I just wanted the games to start, and I looked at the camera, I looked a little bit everywhere. And after I had literally thought about every single thought that I could possibly think about, the game finally started. And we shook hands, smiled, and she started the clock. So I went d4 and she played knight f6. I went c4 and she played e6. And now I decided to go knight f3. I did not want her to play the Nimzo Indian going bishop b4, but she went bishop b4 check anyways. I played bishop d2. And I mean, knowing that she was rated over 2200 and was a lot higher rated than me, I just thought in this game that for me, drawing would be amazing. Anything that wasn't me losing would be a great result. I spent a little bit of time thinking. I ended up playing a3. She took my bishop. I took back with the queen because I wanted to place my knight on c3 and then play e4. And she spent a little bit of time thinking. She ended up castling. I went knight c3. And she was very fast. I know my parents told me that she is great at bullet chess as well. So I knew that she was very fast. And she played d6. And I love these kinds of positions because now I get to get as much space as I want. I quite quickly realized that I want to go e4. And then I just want to have all the space in the world. And even if it might not be objectively good, at least it makes me feel good. Like, you feel good when it looks pretty on the chessboard for you. But this was also objectively good. Anyways, she played knight c6. She brought out her knight. And now I had to ask myself, do I just bring out the bishop or what do I do? I decided, yes, I'm just going to play bishop e2 and I'm going to castle. And she can do whatever she wants in the center, such as going e5, and I will simply go d5 and then castle. Now, with 2 minutes 30 on the clock, we were soon finishing our opening, and it was time to enter the middle game phase of the game. Now, before I show you what happened next, I want to quickly tell you about another really cool strategy game, Forge of Empires, who's sponsoring this video. Forge of Empires is a strategy game where you expand and develop your own city. I love history, which is why I think it's so fun that your city will be going through the different ages, starting all the way from the Stone and Middle Ages and going to modern times with industrial and space ages. In the game, you manage your own city economy, inhabitants, resources, and development, and optimize your resource output to further progress and expand. You can even build an army to take on opponents and conquer continents through turn-based tactics to become the most powerful city through the ages. You can also join or create your own guild to play together with friends. By collecting blueprints, you'll be able to build historical structures such as the Colosseum in Notre Dame, which will provide additional bonuses. Forge of Empires has over 130 million downloads and is available on iOS, Android, and on PC. So start building the city of your dreams. Download Forge of Empires by scanning the QR code up here on the screen or clicking the link in the description box or pinned comment. Also, you can get access to additional rewards such as 25 forge points, 1,000 coins, and 1,000 supplies by completing the tutorial. Additionally, by reaching the Bronze Age, you'll get access to the welcome event and even more rewards. Thank you so much, Forge of Empires, and let's get back to the chess game. So here I went g3, and I really wanted to stop her from bringing in the knight. Because I thought, if she can't go with the knight anywhere, then what is her knight doing on g6? I was trying to just stop her plans, and I realized that in chess, that is a great thing to do. Be annoying and stop your opponent's plans, because that forces them to come up with new plans, and that will require time. She brought out her bishop all the way to g4, taking advantage of the fact that there are a few holes in front of my king, but I played b4, very unbothered, and I was now gaining space on the queen side. She spent some time here thinking, and I was really happy about the time situation, because for once, I was playing fast. Yes, you heard it. Anna Cramling playing fast. You always tell me how slow I am. No, no, no. I was playing fast here. She went knight d7, and I quickly realized that her idea was to go f5. So I thought, okay, what can I do to stop her from going f5? It was very clear that this was going to be a race where I would be playing on the queen side and she would be playing on the king side. I decided to go king g2. My plan was that, okay, she goes f5, I will go h3 and kick her bishop away. And now f5 won't be as strong. Also, my king is protecting my knight on f3, so if the f file gets open, my knight will be protected. And lastly, but very importantly, I didn't want to play king g2 before, because then she would be able to play queen d7, but now that the knight was blocking the queen, that was not an option anymore. So her time was ticking down. She saw my idea of going h3. I don't really think she knew exactly what she wanted to do, because her time just kept ticking down. She had 50 seconds on the clock, and I now started feeling very confident in my position. She traded off the pieces here and saw that her time was getting very low. She played queen g5 to offer a queen trade, and I just thought, okay, if we trade queens, I'm gonna get a better queen side, because I have already gotten quite a lot of space over there. I thought we were going to have a race. I was going to go on the queen side, you were going to go on the king side. But now that I've traded on the traded the queens, her attack on the king side isn't so scary anymore. So I played bishop g4 thinking this was a great move, but after she went knight f6, I realized that it was not a great move, and I got a bit annoyed at myself for playing it, because I realized that my bishop just didn't have the potential I thought it had. And yeah, so I thought, oh, Anna, come on, let's play this well. I was thinking, where do I go with the bishop? Do I go to f3? Do I go to f5? I decided to not go anywhere with it, which I'm not sure if that was right. But I played rook e1, and now she went c6, trying to exchange some pawns in the center. I spent some time thinking here, and the time was getting closer and closer. 40 seconds versus a minute 7. But I played the move c5, and I thought this was a kind of genius move. The engine doesn't agree with me, which typically is what happens. But my idea was just that I thought, as long as I'm keeping everything together, I wanted to create a passed pawn. And to me, this was a way of creating a passed pawn if she would take on c5. But I started seeing that my pieces were a little bit overbearing a lot of different pieces. Like, I wasn't happy about the fact that she was threatening a bunch of things, and my pawns were a little loose in the center. So I was spending a lot of time thinking here, and all of a sudden the time had equalized. She started playing really fast. I knew she was a really strong, fast player. So the knight went back. She went knight e8. I started feeling the pressure of the time. What was I gonna do? I needed to find a plan, and I didn't want to relieve the tension in the center, so I went knight a4 to find a square for my knight, which was going to b6. She took, I took back, we traded off a bunch of pawns, And now my plan was just to go knight b6 at some point. And there wasn't really any way for her to stop that. So she retreated with the knight. And I realized that knight b6, I was thinking, am I losing a pawn? But then I thought, no, I'm not. I can go knight b6. And I didn't think she could take the pawn well, trade rooks, take on c5, and then go knight takes d5 due to rook d1. Instead, she played rook b8, which was a little bit maybe passive in the sense that it allowed me to come in with the rook. However, her plan was to play on the king side. She went f5. She was trying to get some counterplay. But now, after knight c7, when I only had 7 seconds on the clock, I quickly spotted the best move in the position, c6. And this was a crucial move for me to find. I got nervous because I realized I was winning. I dropped pieces. I took the pawn on b7. And now, what was she going to do? What was she going to do? I was going to go very soon, simply rook a1, and I was going to try to get those... I made a move with only 2 seconds on the clock. I went bishop c4 first, defending the d5 pawn, and now threatening to go rook a1. She made a move with only a second on the clock. I had 2 seconds. I made a move quickly with a second on the clock. I almost lost on time. But now, when she made a move, she had lost on time, but I hadn't realized it, and she pointed it out to me, which obviously was kind, because if I lose on time there too, this, yeah, would actually be a mess. It could become a draw, because who lost on time first? Nobody knows. But anyways, I won the game. I had a winning position there. It could have gone either way, but I was just so happy that I had pulled through and I had beaten this extremely strong chess player. And I was just beyond happy because I was now on an incredible score of 7 out of 12. Thank you, Forge of Empires, for sponsoring the video, and check out the game using my links in the description.